return to that later. So if you have a bill introduction, you don't have to wait around for some of the other stuff. If you do have a bill introduction, it's important that it be related somewhat to transportation. An RS number is great. If you're presenting it on behalf of somebody else, let us know who that is. If it's just for yourself, make sure you tell us your name because we have to record that. And with that, we'll go ahead and do bill introductions. Representative Wilborn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a bill request RS 2741. It pertains to KSA 8-2110. It's a trailer bill for the old Senate Bill 500, which is a revision of the driver's license suspension bill, just to clean up. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Representative Wilborn? Is there any objection? If not, the bill is introduced. All right. Do we have other bill introductions? Yeah, please come forward to the mic and state your name.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, committee members. We are Ryan and Monica Omert, and this is our daughter, Mila. Duke Omert was our son. Before dinner on October 13th, 2025, Mila and I were headed home after her soccer practice. We were headed down the road when anticipating to meet Duke at home when the road was blocked to our house. Emergency vehicles crowded the road, and as a mother, I instantly thought of Duke. I called my husband to confirm that Duke was already home. Unfortunately, Duke never came home that day, nor did he ever come home ever again. I pulled into a stranger's driveway after I found out that he was not home yet, and I told Mila to wait in the car while I went to check. As I walked into the side of the road, I saw Duke laying in the street. I saw his scooter littered on the ground, his helmet strewn on the ground, and his shoes in the street. I started to run towards him when I was stopped by a police officer as they were doing CPR on my son. He told me that I could not go near him, that they were trying to do what they could to revive him. And I said, is he alive? And he said, I don't know, ma'am, I don't know. And I said, just tell me if he's alive. And they said, I don't know. They're doing everything that they can, but we don't know, and it does not look good. And I said, you don't understand, he's my son. And they said, I know. And all I wanted to do was just go and touch his face and see him and tell him that I was there so he would know I was there next to him, and he wouldn't let me go near him.
Although a helmet didn't save Duke's life that day, it did give us the opportunity. It did give him the opportunity to fight for his life, and it gave us the opportunity to hug him, to pray with him, to talk with him, to cuddle with him, and spend time with him for several days until he passed away. It is for these reasons that we're here to introduce this bill that will help keep other Kansas children safe in other life-changing situations such as Duke's. This is Bill RS 2643, an act concerning traffic regulations relating to electric-assisted scooters and electric-assisted bicycles, requiring any person who is 17 years of age and younger to wear a helmet while operating an electric-assisted scooter or electric-assisted bicycle, modifying the definition of electric-assisted scooter to include certain specifications and maximum operating speeds, prohibiting any person who is 13 years of age and under from operating an electric-assisted scooter, establishing a maximum speed limit of 15 miles per hour when operating an electric-assisted scooter, amending KSA 8-1498 and 8-15 and also 113, and repealing the existing section. Thank you for your time today.
Chris, do you have the information we need for the sponsored by? Okay. Is there any objection to the introduction of the bill? If not, the bill is introduced. Thank you very much, and we're sorry for your loss. All right. Do we have any other bill introductions? Representative Schmoy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. I am introducing 26 RS 2711, and it is to designate a portion of I-35 just outside of Ottawa in memory of my friend and a friend of our community, Deputy Sam Smith, whose life was lost while he was traveling to a domestic call.
Does anybody have any questions for Representative Schmoy? Is there any objection to the introduction of the bill? If not, the bill is introduced. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's it. Are there any other bill introductions at this time? Okay, seeing none. I think everybody at their desk should have a copy of updated committee rules and conferee rules. There's really not been any change to those. We did want to give you the conferee rules so that if you have a conferee that you're working with, you can share those with them. We also have them updated and on the website. In addition to those rules, I want to remind everybody about, excuse me, Representative. Okay. I want to remind everybody about the importance of the COMA, Kansas Open Meeting laws. One of the things we have to be very careful of is replying all if the sender has not put the names in the blind copy section. So please kind of pay attention to that. Reply only to one. If you're sending out an email, please put the recipients in the blind copy if it's the majority of a quorum of the committee. Also, I know everybody got the invitation, like for instance, to the Kansas Motor Carriers Association dinner. Whenever the, even though that's a very big one, we have to be very careful if we happen to be at a dinner to not talk about any business at all. You know, as long as it's a social engagement, you know, that's fine, but we need to be very careful about that. Do any of you other big chairmen in here, was there anything else I forgot to remind everybody in? I know we've got a very august group of members here that have all heard the same spiel that I have. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move back on to the next thing. I'll ask one more time, do we have any bill introductions? Has anybody came in since we got started? Okay. With that, committee, we're going to move on to our program today, and it's going to be an update from the Division of Vehicles. Deanne Williams is going to be leading the charge on that. Oh, Deanne, sit down for just a second. Representative Brunk, we were going to do committee member and staff introductions, and since you're here, we do have a new member on the committee. Representative Brunk replaced Representative Bohai. You know, Representative Brunk is not a rookie, so don't let his youthful appearance surprise you. When I first came into the House, he was a member of the House and he served for over 14 years. Representative, would you like to say anything? Give a little background.
Steve Brunk, District 85 from Wichita. Apologize for walking in tardily. There was a bill introduction that I had to make at Commerce and Labor, and they're not quite as efficient and prompt as you are. And so it was a joint committee with the Senate, and so I think the Senate was keeping things slower than normal. So anyway, apologize for walking in and disrupting you. Thank you for the introduction.
No, you're great. Welcome to the committee. And let's also just have the staff, let's go around the table and introduce yourself. Let's start with Jill.
Jill Shelley with Legislative Research.
Walter Schmidt with Legislative Research.
Chris Wagner with the Revisor of Statutes Office.
Adam Siebers, Revisor's Office.
Meg Atwood, the Assistant for Representative Francis.
Tommy from Broadcasting.
If you're working on any bill ideas, try to work with Chris as much as possible. He's our lead revisor on this. Adam has a couple of other jobs, and I think he takes the lead on the Senate. So Adam's here for backup and everything, but Chris is our rock star. So, okay. All right, with that, we're going to return to the item of our update from the Division of Vehicles. Welcome to the committee, Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. It's good to be here with you guys today. And we have a presentation. Toby's going to pull that up. So I would like to thank you for the opportunity to appear here today for our annual presentation about the Division of Vehicles. We're going to keep the information at a high level, go through it, and answer any questions that you all may have as we go through the different groups that we have. I'm Deanne Williams. I serve as the Director of Vehicles and have been in that role for about a year now. And with us today, we have Zach Denny. He's the Director of Communications and Legislative Affairs for the Department of Revenue.
Where's Zach at?
Zach's right back here.
Yeah, did you raise, okay. Raise your hand when she introduces you so they can put a name to the face. Okay.
We're always glad when Zach's here, so when you have the hard questions, we can look at him and he helps us with those. I thought we'd go through each business unit that makes up the Division of Vehicles, and we'll let you know what's new and what's ongoing. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about the vehicle services, which is titles and registration, and they support the motor vehicles and the commercial vehicles. They oversee the license plates, vehicle titles, and they're the contact for the county treasurers or the contractors that we have that register vehicles and title the vehicles. Dealer licensing is also a part of this. And we recently completed the 2026, we just recently completed the vehicle dealers registration. We have 2,472 dealers, registered dealers in the state. Intrastate commercial vehicles and interstate vehicles, they operate under the registration plan. Then they're also within vehicle services. And our senior manager for vehicle services is Rod Allen. He's assisted by LaDonna Garcia, titles registration manager, and Dawn Lee. Dawn is our commercial vehicle and dealer manager. Rhonda Banks is our management system analyst. She's our go-to person for the questions on titles and any of the processes that we may have questions on. These four people, they can answer any kind of question you have on registration or titles or probably dealers or anything else. So if you have any questions, then direct them to those folks. And these next two slides, they are the plates that we have introduced for 2026. While we're talking about plates, just wanted to let you know something that to me was an interesting fact when I found this out. Did you know that a constituent does not pay for their license plate? They pay personal property tax, registration fees, maybe personalized fees, royalty fees, application fees. Those are lots of fees that they have to pay, but they do not pay for a license plate. The state of Kansas furnishes license plates at no cost. So I was very surprised with that. And then here's the rest of the plates that are new for this year. We've provided the chart that shows the different fees that are due in order to personalize a plate, and this does not include the property tax or registration fees. I know that this chart's very small, but you'll have that on your printout, and a little easier to read there. The next two slides are what the plates that have been ordered for 2025. So at the end of the year, then we always go through and find out what plates have been purchased for the year. And we always want to give that to you guys so that you have an idea of what plates are out on the streets. And actually just how many of those plates are out there.
Is that the total amount that's out there over the lifetime of the plate, or is that just the amount that was issued in 2025?
Purchased and renewed in 2025.
Okay, so there could be far more than that out there. Or
Well,
like there's more K-State. Yeah, there's a lot more K-State plates in 1692. Okay.
another part of our operation that we see as very important is our training. We have a training team that has classes for vehicle registration and titling systems, commercial vehicle registration, and driver's license. Staff recently decided that we would start hosting classes instead of doing classes over the internet. We're actually doing classroom training again, so they get hands-on in-person meetings. And the people that attend those are the new hires for the Division of Vehicles, county personnel for titles and registration, as well as commercial vehicle registration, and then driver's licensing also. This group is not only trainers, but they have another group that is that completes the quality assurance reviews for us and for the county staff, KDOR staff, our third-party contractors. They provide that feedback of what they see may have not been entered correctly into the system, and we have a Teams call, conference call, and that's reviewed, and those folks know exactly what they need to do as they move forward. And our manager for that group is Christy Karlovitz. Okay, our next group that we're going to talk about is our product integration, driver education, and remote services. We have many moving parts, obviously, in the Division of Vehicles to keep track of, and several years ago it was decided that we needed to have somebody that oversees those for the Division of Vehicles. And at about that same time, then the Department of Ed decided that they were going to not oversee the private driving schools, and so we now have the oversight of those private driving schools. We have one person that oversees that, and right now she has 53 private driving schools, and she works with, she has issued 835 instructor licenses. So she's stayed very busy this last year. She's done several audits also. Calendar year of 2025, the mobile driver's license services, we have a group that goes out and they will go to, they'll go to prisons as people are getting ready to get out of prison, and they need an ID card. So we go to the prison and issue those ID cards. Retirement homes, corporate businesses, and this year they issued 3,399 driver's license, CDL, or ID cards. They also go out whenever the division puts on a mass, well, when we have CDL folks that maybe the harvesters are in and they need to get permits, then we'll have folks go out and they'll help to issue those permits. So that's what that mobile group does. And then to keep all of that stuff in order, we have Jessie Tyson. She's the manager for that group. And in addition, Jessie is now overseeing our real-time insurance project with the Department of Insurance that was passed last year. And we're expecting that to go live in July. And then we're excited to talk about this next project. It is an electronic e-lien system. And the lending institutions will, when you purchase a vehicle, then they're going to put that lien on electronically. So once that vehicle is registered, then the lien will automatically go on. And then once the vehicle is paid for, then they will take that lien off electronically, and the lien will, or the title will be sent to the customer at that point in time. So, you know, in my thought process, boy, that'll be an easy one. Well, I'm sure that there's going to be lots and lots of different things that go into it, but you know, that's just kind of the high level overview as Deanne sees that. So we have lots of good people that are going to be working on it. It's an in-house. We're going to have our folks working with a a vendor, and so we're excited to get that done. It's been a long time in coming for that. Now we're going to transition into driver services. Driver Solutions is the contact center and record custodian for all Kansas driving records, including recording sanctions, convictions, and reinstatements from the courts. In Kansas, we have almost 2.3 million driver's license, CDLs, and ID cards. In 2024, Driver Solutions worked with the legislators in planning and implementing Senate Bill 500, and it sounds like we'll be doing a little bit more work with Senator Wilborn. This bill, it restricted driver's license in lieu of suspension for failure to comply with a traffic citation, and happy to report that everything is working as expected. During the last year, staff worked with the optometry industry to update the vision regulations, and so they've worked very hard on that part of it, and we'll finish that up soon. Lacey Black is our manager for the Driver Solutions Group, and she also has a couple other ladies that work with her, and so we have put that information on this form so that you can have their emails if you have any questions.
Deanne, would it throw you off if we'd stop and allow people to ask a couple of questions right here? Representative Hoheisel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I actually have one question for Deanne and then one question for Zach. So however you would like to do it. And my question for Deanne is simple. I'm looking at page 1 of this very beautiful license plate on the front. We currently don't have a Kansas City Chiefs license plate, do we?
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do? Oh, my goodness. And I just bought a new car and I've got to go in and get, wow.
Just remember, you're going to pay, the state's going to pay for that.
There's not an amount I wouldn't pay to get one of those tags. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And if you want me to wait for Zach.
Is it something we've covered already?
Kinda, it has to do with IDs.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Zach, do you want to come up and?
Zach Denny, Department of Revenue.
Yes, earlier in the year, we had some conversations through email about the Wichita Municipal ID and getting it added to be eligible for a state ID. I know those talks kind of just got sidetracked because we've all been busy with other things. I would like to re-engage those talks. I look at what List C to get your ID and List E includes, and I think that the requirements on the to get a City of Wichita Municipal ID are a little more strict than some of these. It's a check stub or a rent or lease agreement, something like that. Have you guys had any further conversations on that front?
We have not at this time, but we'd be happy to work with you on that.
Okay,
Kent and I would be Kent would be a great resource on that as well.
Okay, yeah, I may reach out to you guys after the meeting today to try to set up a meeting to, I've had, in the last few weeks, I've had the City of Wichita ping me on that again, and there's some members on that Wichita City Council that are just thorns in my side and just won't leave me alone. So, yeah.
Those guys are like family to you, aren't you?
Boy, let me tell you. But we'll continue to have those conversations. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And one question I have, I've been getting a couple of emails lately about, I think I got an email the other day about Department of Revenue sold driver's license information and made $1.4 million off of that. Is there any truth to that allegation?
Zach?
We do sell driver's license information, but specifically we provide it for insurance companies and some other public safety aspects, just to ensure that vehicles that are recalled are properly notified if a driver has a vehicle that has a recall on it. That's the main organization that uses that information.
So that I understand, like if the car companies have to buy the information from you so that they can notify the owners of the vehicles that there's a recall?
Yeah, it's more of an administrative cost to cover the cost of hosting that data is what I believe. Would be happy to get some more information on that for you though, because I do know what you're talking about, and I saw the news about that as well, of course.
Yeah, and you also charge the insurance companies for information then about driver's records. Is that what you were saying, or did I understand that?
Yeah, that's accurate. I would probably be more comfortable getting a little bit more information on that and getting back to you because I don't want to misspeak on the process of how that works.
Okay, okay, thanks very much. I just knew that came up. Representative Weigel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I apologize. I got here just about when you were introducing everybody. I have a question. Maybe you just need to direct me to who I need to talk to. I got a call in my office from a constituent who's moved his mother here because she's getting a little older, and she's going to live with him, and she wanted to get him. He wanted to get her a driver's license or a non-driver's license ID card, and he and she went to the DL station down at 29th and Topeka, and they said that she would have to, because she hadn't driven in quite a while. She just wanted a non-driver's license ID. And they said, well, she doesn't have that anymore. It's from the state of Washington State. And they said, well, they need to have a certified copy of her marriage license to bring in to verify. This is what I'm getting. And they said, well, okay, we can get that. And the state of Washington produced like a facsimile with no embossed on it, because they said after 1965, those are all archived, and they just make a copy and send it. And whoever he was talking to down at the DMV or the DL station down there said that won't fly. So hence the call to me. Is there anything that I can guide him to, or you can address this?
What we could do is work with Kent and Jesse, and we'll figure out exactly what they need to bring in so that, you know, the next time they come in, they can leave with the ID.
Okay. Should I talk to you later, or? Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Goddard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm probably going to show my ignorance here, but can you explain to me what Covers is, KCOVRS, and what is I3 Vertical?
I3 Vertical is a company that we're working with to enhance the Covers system, and Covers is Kansas Commercial Vehicle Registration System. You know, everything has to have a name. So that means really nothing to no one from the outside, but on the inside, it's a huge, we got Covers and we have movers, and we work with I3, we work with Champ, you know, on and on and on.
Okay.
So those are operating systems.
All right, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Wilborn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for being here. And I apologize the problems I caused you on Senate Bill 500. But I do have a personal question. We moved about 2 months ago, my wife and I submitted the move electronically. It's been about 2 months. I have not received back a renewal license. How's that work? Should I expect that pretty soon?
They don't get that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Kent Selk, Driver Services. Depends. If you did a free online address change, you did the free one, you just keep the receipt that you would print off and you keep your current driver's license. If you went online and applied to actually get a new credential issued through our online process for an address change, you would then should have already received a new credential. But if you did the free one online, you just keep the receipt and you keep your current license.
Candidly, I don't know what I did, so.
Okay. I'll be more than happy to help you out and figure out what you got.
Thank you.
All right, let's have this be the last one so we get through the rest of this. Okay, go ahead, Representative Hoheisel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, again. Real quick, you touched on the beginning, the Kansas taxpayer does not pay for their license plate. Is that because the state of Kansas still owns that license plate? Or who actually owns the license plate when it's on the taxpayer or the driver's car?
Well, that's a good question. I would imagine that the constituent does, but we can sure find that out.
Yeah, because I was always, they're under the assumption that the state still owned the actual license plate, and that's why at times you actually have to send your license plate back or give your license plate back after. So, yeah, that'd be something I'd be a little interested in. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, let's move on a little bit on this. So now we get to Kent, right?
Now is Kent. Driver's licensing. We have employees, of course, statewide. They operate the driver's license offices as well as CDL offices. Kent Selk is our senior manager. And we've listed all of the regional managers in case you guys, when you get back home and you might have a driver's license question, you can reach out to these regional managers. We've got their names and addresses for you. And then, we always like to brag about the good things. And our real ID numbers are something that we're very proud of and that we do want to brag about. We've worked long and hard to get our numbers to where they're at now, and 87.6% of Kansas license holders or ID holders, then they have the gold star on their license. Everybody has had the opportunity to do it, and we've had some that have just said no, that they're not going to, but 87% of folks have the gold star. And right now Kent's in the process of working with the Transportation Safety Administration so that we can continue to do that. He has to recertify, and so we're in the process of that. Here's our latest map of all of the county offices, the state driver's license offices, and we've got that updated so that you'll know the closest to where you may live or where you can direct people to go. Our wait lines in the driver's license offices, it used to be we'd have people come in and they'd pack a lunch because they had to stay there forever. That's not the case anymore since we deployed the new appointment system several years ago. Then people are usually right in and out. If they don't have an appointment, we still work them. Might take a little bit longer, but usually people are in and out of the office in 10 or 15 minutes. So it works well. They've got everything down. We've got good employees that know exactly what they need to do. We've tried to make things easier, just like Senator Wilburn was able to go online and change some things on his driver's license. We have our online services, and on this slide it shows you the vehicles and the driver's license. These are through our ICANN app, and you'll see that those grow each and every year. And then here's our online services that we have all the different links to those pages. So we wanted to leave that in. I know we gave it to you last year, but we wanted to go ahead and give it to you again this year. And this just shows the different things that you can do with the ICANN application, and we're getting ready to add some more things to that. Here's the acronyms. So as other folks go through presentations, or you have a conversation with somebody and you're just not sure what AAMVA would be, and that's American Automobile Vehicle Dealers Association. Then we wanted to put all of that information out there so that you have it, and we gave that to you last year, but we wanted to go ahead and give it to you again. And then this is a contact page for the Division of Vehicles leadership team, phone numbers and email addresses. So if we can assist you with anything, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help. And with that, that concludes our presentation. If anybody has any questions.
Before we get started on all of that, I just want to encourage all of you to try to keep that contact sheet that she had at the end. You know, one of the best things that we can do on the transportation committee is act as a liaison between our other members and our constituents and the Department of Revenue. And I want to thank you guys for how responsive you always are to me. It seems like I don't hardly go a week without calling Kent or Deanne or Zach, sometimes 2 or 3 times. Some of the rest of you guys kind of get off easy, you know, because they're in my my contact list, you know, on my phone. But I do want to thank all of you guys for being exceptionally responsive to our needs. You don't, unfortunately, always give me the answer that I want, which kind of frustrates me, but I know you're working hard for us. So anyway, I encourage you to do that and help me a little bit with some of this constituent services with our other members, you know, it helps if it's more than just me. Representative Delperdang?
Thank
had a
you.
question?
You know you can't get out without a question from me.
That's fine.
This is normally when I ask about my wildlife tag, but you already took care of that. Thank you. I appreciate it. On the last page that you just showed, where you had the list of names and contacts, and is there a way you could get a list to the chairman or us or something that if we're in there helping a constituent and we're in an office, I can pick up a phone and not call a number and we'll call you back in 2 or 3 days, but rather get something. I've got it with other departments. We have to promise we're not going to abuse it. It's not for personal use, but if we're there, it'd be sure helpful. It really would.
We'll get
So
your number.
that'd be a question in that. And then there was another, I've helped several people with antique autos and stuff. And I had an individual, 1930 Plymouth. He had bought this back in 1984 in another state when he lived there. That old vehicle was in boxes and crates, paid to have it restored. Beautiful car. He spent 6 months in and out of, you know, he'd go to the highway patrol, they inspected it, all the numbers matched. He'd go down to the department to get it registered, and they'd keep running him back and forth. I did go down with him. The individual that waited on us, and I explained what was going on, she was perfect. We walked out of there with all the paperwork. It was beautiful. But that was one of the things I'm thinking, boy, if I had a number, if I needed, it'd be so helpful.
Sure.
So,
We'll get those for you.
okay. And then on your appointment system, sorry if I may, on the appointment system, does that set up appointments for future days or just the day of?
Future days.
Okay. All right. That was it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Helgerson.
Thank you very much. We have a number of challenges in front of us. We have counties such as Sedgwick or Johnson that are kicking in large amounts of money and underwrite the tag office. We have areas in western Kansas where the tag office is economic development. It puts 2 or 3 people together. We have to provide services that the county needs and has to fund. We have, I think Department of Revenue has some multi-million-dollar requests for computers and other issues. I don't know if the governor's funded them or not. There are some legislative proposals out there to revamp how we do this system. Do you want to comment about any of these problems that I see that need to get addressed?
Well, we have worked with Sedgwick County, we've worked with Johnson County, had many conversations with those folks, and we understand where they're coming from. You know, we have shortfalls also. Our big thing is we don't have enough money for tags. And so, you know, that's where we're at right now. And we held dealer tags this year and did not do those because of budget. And so we're hoping that a lot of people will buy the blackout plate, which will help us because we get money to redo tags, you know, to reissue. So, but as far as, you know, much other, no, I probably should wait and we'll visit with counties about those.
Well, there's also discussions about privatizing or privatizing parts of it or moving it back to the car dealers to handle parts of it. And I don't know whether or not the governor funded the tens of millions of dollars in computer equipment that was asked for at one time. You know, and I don't know what the process is going to be, but it really is, this is your opportunity if you want to address anything now, as opposed to looking at some proposals or legislation, whether or not you think it's heading in the right direction or not.
Well, we have had many discussions on how we could change things and what we could do. At this point in time, I'm not ready to discuss those openly, but, you know, we will work with you and we'll work with this committee, whoever we need to work with, to make sure things go in the right direction.
And I might just add to that, you know, this issue with the treasurers has been going on for years, and I think we've passed bills increasing the funding for that a number of times over the last 5 or 6 years, and it hasn't made it all the way through the process. There is an understanding, that the Senate has a bill that maybe they're prepared to move forward on that, and you know, hopefully it can get through the process, and then we can look at it and come up with some good policy solutions for that. But yeah, I think we've had this problem for a long time, and you know, I think we've all done some stuff on it. Maybe some of our friends across the rotunda will be more helpful this time. All right. Any other questions for Deanne or any of her staff here? You know, we've got a kind of a heavy lift on some of the things, you know, the treasurer fee thing, and then there's some other things that may come up that'll directly involve these people. So they're a great source of information. Yeah, Representative Delperdang.
Thank you. And you may not even be aware of this, but I had a meeting a while back with Randy Bailey, Sedgwick County Revenue or so. And she was talking about putting some additional, like a $5 fee on registrations or something to help fund local. Do you know anything about that, or maybe help?
That's what they're going to bring forward this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've got some bill stuff that they're working on.
There's a bill in the Senate.
Will that fall under state? Does that fall under county? Is it
you mean?
Across the whole state, or?
Well, I think the way the bill is written right there, they changed the name on one of the fees. They got a thing called a facility fee.
Yeah.
And it doesn't wind up when you get billed, when you get your bill. So you take your stuff in to the county and then the amount's wrong. So if we do some changes on that facility fee, then it'll be part of the bill that they get. So they take the right amount in. And then they have some other fees that they want the state to pass, but it'll be a county option. At least that's my understanding of the way the bill is, but we'd have to look at the specifics of that bill to see what it is. It's a different approach to what they've taken in the past. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much. Yep. And again, thanks to you and all your staff for your help. With that, we're going to return to the item of bill introductions. Do we have any bill introductions that we missed out on earlier? Okay, seeing none. Looking ahead, committee, tomorrow we're going to have a presentation by Ray Seif, the Director of Aviation. He wants to talk about air mobility, some of the initiatives that they're doing and what they think some of their needs might be moving forward to make Kansas a leader in that field. And there will also be members of his Aviation Advisory Committee. Friday, we will not have a meeting. Following week, we're going to work probably our first bill, thanks to Representative Delperdang. I'm not sure of the day. And then also we'll have a presentation by Secretary of Transportation on basically a KDOT update. And then we'll also have an update by the Drive to Zero Coalition. The Drive to Zero Coalition is a group of stakeholders across the state that are working to lower fatalities in the state, and they take a lead on the legislation that we try to get through the process up here. So Vanessa Spartan will be the person giving that presentation the following week. So with that, thanks for coming in, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're adjourned.